I just recently bought a new set of SPD pedals, and I realized I have quite a few of them, so I thought there might be some value in a video where I go over the ones that I have. I don't really have any of the XT or the XTR mountain bike pedals. I've never really used them on my mountain bike, so hence I don't have any. With the exception of the blue ones on the right there, these are more or less pedals that I use on the road or gravel riding and touring. I guess we could start with the cleat. The SM-SH51 is the black one here, and this is basically a little bit tougher cleat to get out of. You basically can only get out of it by twisting to the right and pulling up, or the right or left, actually, one way or the other, and then pulling up and out of it. If you pull up, you can't get out of it, but you got to sort of twist and then out. So it's a little bit tougher to get out of. Whereas the other one, the SH56, has an M on it. It means multi. And basically, as soon as you start to pull off to the side, it releases. So it's a little bit more easy. It's basically easier to get out of. So it won't let you go this way, but as soon as you sort of pull up, which is a natural thing you might want to do as you're falling, you can get out of it. So it's a little bit easier. And basically, depending on the pedal you buy will dictate what cleat you get with it. For instance, I just bought these EH600s, and they came with the black cleat. I think the rest of these came with the multi-cleat, the rest of these pedals. But you will get cleats with the pedals when you buy them. I guess I'll start with my first set of SPD pedals, which was the PD 515s. I think they're now called the 520s. 410 grams, and they cost about $45 as best I can tell nowadays. And it's your basic two-sided SPD pedal. Real easy to get in and out of. As with anything that is bicycle related, the more it weighs, the cheaper it is. But yeah, it's a good starter one if you're not worried about weight, and get you started because it is double-sided. It's a little bit easier to get in and out of. It does have a 6mm Allen, and it also has the slot for the 15mm pedal wrench. So yeah, that's that. And then I think after that I moved on and I got these PD 324s, and I basically got these for a commuter bike that I had, a hybrid bike, and also for my touring bike. And since it's a combo, obviously you can use flat shoes or SPD. And what I thought about this, it has these little notches in here, so I thought that would be great for a flat shoe. So when I go touring, I could just not wear cleats, because sometimes when I'm touring I don't really like the SPD pedal. And if I wanted to, I could use the SPD pedal on that and carry two sets of shoes, an SPD pedal for riding and then another one for when I'm off the bike. They're pretty heavy. They come in at 5'11", and they're about $80, and they have the 6mm and the 15mm slot for the wrench. I don't really tighten my pedals that much. I find that there's no sense in over tightening them because of the reverse thread on the one side. When you're pedaling, you're actually tightening the pedals. I just snug them down with an Allen wrench, and because I do tend to take them on and off. For instance, when I put them in the car, I always pull off the non-drive side. If you put a bike in the car with the derailleur up to protect it, but then on the other side, the non-drive side, that pedal tends to like catch the carpet on the car, catches things, and just becomes a pain in the ass. So I generally always pull my non-drive side pedal. One easy way to remember about your pedal is to loosen it. All you do is pull up towards the down tube. So if you put that 6mm Allen in, and this is this side, your bike's here, the down tube, you put the Allen wrench in and you pull up towards the down tube, and it's always going to loosen the pedal. And again, I don't tighten it very much because I take them off a fair amount. So after that would be this PD EH500 I bought. And I got this for my road bike for when I was commuting to work and I was trying to get there fast, and I didn't have to carry a change or clothes or anything. And I really wanted to ride the lighter bike because the road bike is the lightest bike I have. Again, a combo pedal. And I got this because of the wide platform. I didn't really like these ridges here, but that's what they are. But you get a nice platform on a street shoe. It does have a 6mm Allen and the 15mm wrench. I remember when I bought them, I wanted the black ones, but they were like $20 more. So I was like, I'm not paying $20 for a black color. But that's a good road bike pedal. I did like that one. Next would probably be my favorite pedals for my gravel bike, and the ones I like a lot are these PD EH500s. They're 382 grams. And they're about $80. I even ran this on my mountain bike a little bit. And what's good about these is they have the pins that you see on mountain bike pedals for grabbing your shoe there and keep it in place. I ended up getting out of it because I wasn't a big fan of being clipped in on some of the mountain bike rides, because here in Southern California, a lot of times you have like the side of the cliff, and then you have the trail, and then you have a fall off. And I remember being one time clipped in. I was riding along and my handlebar clipped the wall, and I almost went off the edge, and I was like, that's it, I'm not getting clipped in anymore. So I ended up going to flats, which I don't have pictured here. They're kind of like those blue ones, but there's no SPD clip in there. And what I like about this is when I go touring, I have an option to either wear a street shoe or an SPD shoe. I ended up replacing these pins, so then when they wore out, I replaced them with longer pins. And again, it takes a 6mm Allen, and it also has the 15mm slot for the pedal wrench. This also has a 6mm on it. So yeah, I like that pedal a lot. It's a great multi-use pedal for adventure cycling. But yeah, so let me show you the shoes because that relates to these pedals. I have these Pearl Izumi Summit, I believe they're called. Bikepacking.com recommended them, and I really like them because they're good on and off the bike. And for me, that was key. If I was going to go down to one shoe, I'd rather have, especially going gravel riding, an SPD pedal, but not have to carry two sets of shoes. So this is a good combo shoe that I like. I can wear it around town. If I was to go on a long distance tour, like a week or so, I'd probably carry two shoes. But if you want one shoe that works on gravel bikes, this is pretty comfortable. And then I recently just acquired these PD EH500s. They are the lightest, and they're more of a road pedal, it looks like, just by their design. They're single-sided. They're trying to maybe mimic the SPD SLs. This is really light at 282 grams, and it's $80. It's one-sided, and I just got them, so I really like them a lot. They need to be broken in, I think. They're just, this grease is still fresh, but really nice. They're the lightest. They do take an 8mm Allen, but yeah, really nice pedal. So these were on my road bike, and now I've replaced it with these, and these single-sided ones are on my road bike. In terms of the washers that you see, I think generally the washers come with the cranks. I don't think it's critical you have washers. And the other thing is the pedal you buy is going to dictate what cleat you get. For instance, this black SH51 came with the ES600 pedal, and whereas I think all the other pedals that I have here came with the SH56, the multi-release one. And last but not least, I had these Mizira, I don't even know how to say it, SPD flat pedals. I was watching an episode of Global Mountain Bike Network, and that guy Blake, I think his name is, had tried some. They did one thing on inexpensive mountain bike gear that they think is pretty good, and this was one of the pedals they tested. It may not be this exact name, but it was a very similar pedal. And what's great is you get the benefit of the flat pedal, which I was using before on my mountain bike. Once I took these off, I went back to the flat pedal, and I was using this, but then I was like, I kind of missed the SPD. So what's great about this is obviously I have the SPD on the one side, but then I have the pins, your traditional pins that you see on mountain bike pedals on the other side. And this takes an 8mm Allen also to secure. The 8mm, they don't have the slot for the 15mm pedal wrench anymore. I guess they figure once you commit to 8mm, 15mm isn't going to work for a wrench. And again, I don't put these on that tight. Yeah, but for me, it's all about being able to walk flat-footed with the SPD pedal, not having the cleat here. I will mention that some shoes, not necessarily this one, this is my road shoe, but it is a mountain bike shoe technically because they put these, treads on it. You can get a shoe with both SPD SL mounts, which is the 3 holes, and also they allow for the SPD cleat that you see here, so you can have a shoe that does both. The problem with that, I find, especially if you're going to use SPD, is they can't have the tread here because the SPD SL cleat will get in the way. You can't have the tread because it won't work that way. So what happens if you use the SPD, you end up walking on the cleat itself, and one, you could damage the floor, and also you could mar up you're wearing away at the SPD cleat. For what it's worth, that's an option. Anyway, hope you liked it. And that's about it, I think. Bob's your uncle.